looking at all of our 99 episodes that are available so far, what episode is our favorite? Congratulations. I'm just kidding. Howdy, Meowers. Welcome to BlushCat's 100th episode spectacular. My name is Jezzabelle.
Wow! Bow, 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 bow. That was a spectacular intro. My name is Devin, but Jezzabelle, what the heck? Why are you back? Not to be rude, but like...
Because I was here for episode 1.
Oh,
and
okay.
I am here to celebrate episode 100.
Fake fan, I should have known. Okay.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
I don't know why I got, like, I was like, Jezzabelle, like, saying my name. But that's just the way it's going to be today. But, yeah, what are we doing?
100th episode extravaganza, but actually more of like a retrospective. We're going to be doing a little bit of superlatives today, just kind of a look back on the BlushCat's previous 100 episodes. 99 episodes, I suppose.
Yeah, because this is episode 100. And honestly, we have this hyped up intro, but realistically, it's not gonna be super exciting probably. Like, there's only so much we can do as a podcast to celebrate this episode. So yeah, we're focusing on the actual podcast episodes. We have other content exclusive to our YouTube channel, and we're not really considering that today. Some things might come up, but really, we're going to give these superlatives to the podcast episodes.
Yes, because we're celebrating 100 episodes of the podcast. And so
that wasn't clear already.
This is going to have like maybe a little bit of a BlushCat Becky vibe to it, because we're going to be sort of talking and thinking about, previous episodes in terms of like how they are to record and like prepare for and stuff like that. So it's kind of like a behind the scenes look, but yeah.
Okay, so where should we begin?
There's gonna be some tea. We should probably just begin natural.
What does that mean? Begin natural. Where do we begin? Natural?
Well, I taught you what natural means the other day.
Oh,
natural, like the flow of water, just like the
natural.
Flow of,
okay, so we're starting with most popular.
Yes. Okay. Perfect.
Please forgive me for forgetting what natural meant. Okay, our most popular episode. Do we like build it up? Do we make it suspenseful, or do we just start talking about it?
I guess we just start talking about it.
Okay. Our most popular episode to date of recording this episode is K-pop Open Mic Night 2, aka episode 97.
It's just quite exciting that our most popular episode is one so very, very recent.
Yeah.
Like, wow, we popped off. Like, good for us. If we had to say that our most popular episode was like episode 12 or something, it's like, wow, you fell off. Like, are you kidding me? But so that's like really, that's really positive.
Yeah. So right now it has a 100% like rate. Like, awesome.
Also really incredible.
And has over 800 views.
Yeah.
And we are taking these statistics from YouTube only.
Oh yeah, that's true. Because honestly, like, we're like available wherever you listen to podcasts. But honestly, some of those other places, especially statistics wise, it's like, I don't know, like, what's even like, can I like what it, Yeah. YouTube, I live here, okay? I know this place. Also, please don't judge too harshly our statistics. If, you're listening to this maybe currently or maybe way in the future and you're like, their most popular episode, 800 views. Like, they're
and they're
celebrating
100
that.
episodes in.
And they're 100 episodes in. Yes, we're celebrating that. Okay.
Who even cares? I wouldn't be doing this podcast if I didn't want to anymore or only cared about the numbers.
Yeah, if we were doing it for the views, are you kidding me? You think we'd be on episode 100?
Okay, yeah, so that's that. Moving on to our least popular episode. Woohoo!
This one is iconic, honestly.
Yeah, so why don't you tell everybody?
So our least popular episode is actually going to be K-pop Valentine's Gifts Association, also known as episode 46. That one's looking at 7 views. And we've talked about it before. We talked about it before and how, you know, it was my idea to do this. I thought, what is like one of the most capitalize on holidays? It's Valentine's Day. So shouldn't we be making a Valentine's Day themed episode? No, we shouldn't have. Because it flopped. It was fun. It was fun to think of the stuff, but it flopped. Nobody cares about that. Nobody thinks of that. Nobody wants to listen to that.
Yeah.
Now we know.
But out of those 7 views, the episode does have 4 likes. So if you are one of the 7 people that heard this episode on YouTube and you liked it, and you're one of the 4 that liked it, you know, thank you and congratulations.
Congratulations. Oh, yeah. Now that one can transition us very naturally into the best concept category for superlatives. Why don't you take that one away?
Okay, so we're actually giving 2 episodes, or like technically right now 3 episodes, superlatives for best concept, but episode 76, K-pop songs that aren't about love, is one of those episodes that we're giving best concept to because it was just such an incredible redemption from our Valentine's episode, because currently it has 659 views. That's way more than 7.
It is. Yeah. And I think we talked about it in that episode as well, but you know, the concept came to be because it was like, okay, Valentine's is a no-go. Valentine's does not work at all. So this Valentine's season, we're just gonna absolutely talk not about love.
Yeah.
And yeah, it popped off. It really came through. The redemption arc, incredible. So how can it not be considered a good concept to have done when it succeeded so wonderfully?
Exactly. And we also want to give superlatives to our seasonal recommendations episodes. You can find the spring recommendations, episode 81, and recently our summer recommendations, episode 93. And these episodes both performed very, very well. People seem to really want some K-pop recommendations, and we certainly love to offer them. So I think this was a great concept for us to try out.
Yes. And so we will be doing more of those for the future seasons because great concept.
Mm-hmm. Now it's time for a little bit of controversy. We are going to give a superlative to our most hated episode. This is different than least popular because least popular we were just basing off of views alone. But we are giving episode 7, Boys Planet finale and Zero Base 1, ZB1 reaction, the most hated episode superlative. It actually does have 440 views, which is pretty good for our channel. However, it has a 55.6% ratio currently of likes to dislikes. 5 likes, 4 dislikes, and we actually got 2 hate comments, and one of the hate comments has 7 thumbs up. So yeah.
And so you might be thinking, oh, so this is the most hated episode by the people. Like, they hated this episode. But that's not what we were giving the superlative out for. We hate this episode because everyone hated us and hated it. Like, it performed so poorly that, like, that's what we're actually talking about. But you could say for both.
I was actually considering it most hated by the listeners.
Oh, really?
Yes, but I mean, I actually, to jump over to, I know you didn't have one for that, but to jump over to least favorite superlative, like, I still picked episode 7.
I understand now. That's why we have a most hated and a least favorite. Those are
Yes.
very, okay.
Because,
Okay,
yeah, the episode, it just got ruined for me. Like,
Yes.
yeah. So, that's that.
Yeah, it got ruined. Like, the episode itself got ruined, but then also, like, that can kind of go into our hardest episode, hardest concept to do superlative. What are we officially calling that?
I guess hardest to make.
Yeah. So, like, the hardest to make superlative, I think we're both, like, on the same page about this, but we don't have, like, a way to, like, give it, like, a, you know, one thing to, I have to explain it. It's an
Right.
explanation.
Mm-hmm.
It's episodes where there are certain groups or certain people or certain sentiments even that are expected to be talked about. Sometimes we don't know ahead of time, you know, sometimes we just go and we talk about something. And then after the fact, someone gets mad at us and they're like, I cannot believe you didn't talk about this. And it's like, okay, I'm so sorry that you absolutely hate our entire podcast now because we didn't talk about that one specific thing that wasn't relevant to us. So, like, why would we have talked about it? Or it's like, we already knew ahead of time, everybody's going to want us to talk about this, but it's not relevant to us, or we didn't really like it, so nobody's going to want to hear us talk about how we didn't really like it, because those are hard. Those are very hard things to deal with, because it makes us just be like, once we know, we're like, okay, so we feel like we should just never talk about that ever again, or like never even go near that ever again, because if we don't do it the exact way that people are expecting us to, then they're upset. And sometimes it's like, there's no reason for us to talk about it.
Yeah. Like, it's like if we say stuff, people will get mad. And if we don't say stuff, people will still get mad.
Yes.
So certain topics are just like, make those episodes hard to talk about. Like, or they make those episodes hard to record if there's a topic that might fit what we're talking about. But we, like, you know, you said it all.
Yeah. Sometimes we even, like, we cover something, we talk about the group, we speak positively about it, but still, because we didn't mention, like, the exact, like, down to the, you know, minuscule detail, the specific, like, thing that the other people love, they're like, I love that you talked about this group, but I don't understand why you wouldn't have mentioned this also. It's like, you just can't win.
Yeah. So those are hard, but if I had to say a specific episode that I remember being hard, I would say recently, episode 92, the Forbidden Word Game, was hard for a similar reason, because it's hard to hold your words and, like, refrain from mentioning certain things, but it's just like, this was in a less serious way, but it was still difficult because you can't let the conversation flow freely.
Oh, yeah, that's true. If I pick a specific episode, and I was maybe going to bring this up in a Becky, so I don't know if I still would bring it up into more detail, but I'll bring it up now. Episode 80, our favorite K-pop vocalists episode, was very hard for me. And you might be thinking, oh, because you don't really care about K-pop vocals. No, that's not the reason. I actually really liked to talk about the vocalists. It's because that was, like, moments before I fell ill, very ill. If you know about my personal channel and the somewhat recent stretch of time I guess it's actually literally not recent at this point. It was like February or something, I think. But the stretch of time when I was sick, so I wasn't making any videos, the last thing that I recorded before that happened was the vocalist episode. And I, like, in between sentences, I'm like, oh God. And then like we like start recording again, and I'm like, yeah, rough. So it was great. Like the vocalists, I love them. So that one was really difficult.
Looking back, you can laugh, but it was not a laughing matter at the time.
It was like the worst I had ever felt in a long time. Like it was actually crazy.
Yeah. So I just also want to go back to like most hated by the people.
Right.
If we want to bring up something that's not a podcast episode, but people still really seemed to not like, and for reasons that you just mentioned, like with what makes episodes hard to do, our Mama and MMA tier list video, that has a 30% ratio, 3 likes, 7 dislikes, and you know, it has 136 views currently, so that's not too bad, but like people did not like it, and we kind of have an idea that it might literally just be because we didn't cover every single group that performed at those shows.
Yeah, which already the episode's like an hour 30, hour 40 minutes or something, I think.
I don't remember.
Well, the video, not episode. It's a long process to cover just the ones that we covered. If we covered all of them, it would be like multiple parts probably.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that you would have wanted us to cover the groups that we didn't cover. Like, we didn't cover them because they would have been rated poorly probably. Like, we didn't care about them. So I just don't understand how someone is like, I'm so upset, I cannot believe that you wouldn't cover this group, when it's like, if we really enjoyed this, we would have covered it. So you should be, you know, thankful that we didn't probably. It's just, yeah, I don't understand. Like, at that point, we might as well just literally never hold back anything and just, you know, go for it. Share everything we didn't like as well, because if people are going to dislike the episodes anyway, when we're like literally being, you know, polite, then like if people are going to treat you like a fox, then you act like a fox.
Whoa.
So like we might as well just start just being savage, because anytime we're wrong about, like, anytime we don't give the people the exact opinion that they wanted, they hate us anyway. They're disliking us for literally like holding back and not talking about something that we didn't like.
Okay, well, that's all true.
I did say there would be some tea. I tried to hold back, but I mean, sometimes
you know, 100 episodes in, you just, you know, there's stuff that you've been holding back for a long time, and
yeah,
you know, you gotta at least let people know that you have been holding back.
Because I mean, like, the early episodes, I didn't think I had to hold back that much. But then the hate comments start rolling in, and it's like, oh, okay, I guess I can't just speak freely here on my own podcast, even though I'm being polite. You know, I would understand if I was being
never like
hateful.
Yeah, it's never like horrible, like we're actually hating on people, or we're actually like being super mean and foul. Like, it's never even like that.
It's just like, who would literally want to listen to a podcast where every single opinion that is ever shared is glowing, right? Sometimes you're going to be like, you know what? I consumed this content and it wasn't my favorite. That's okay.
Yeah. Well, I think we should maybe just finish up our sort of like bad superlatives, and then we can bring it back up again with the rest of our good ones.
I'm not here to be the Jimmy Fallon of K-pop podcasts.
What does that mean?
Because like he's always really like happy-go-lucky, laughing. Like he has, I think it's like maybe not a meme, but like it's a known concept that Jimmy Fallon is just like absolutely loving every guest interaction. You know, it's like it gets to a point where you start to not feel like it's genuine, because it's
Okay.
like he's acting the same way for every single person. I mean, obviously you don't want the hosts to be mean to the guests. I'm not saying that, but I'm just like, you need variation in how you are presenting yourself in your content, or else it starts to feel not genuine.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Well, anyway, most frustrating for us as hosts, I will say episode 38, Guess the English K-pop lyric game. And this is the first time we played that game. And then when we played it again, the episode was called Haechel's Redemption Arc, because hi, Haechel here, stepping in for a moment. The first time we played it, it was really just like, I was having such a hard time. Like, nothing was coming to mind. I was struggling. And so I just think, like, those types of episodes sometimes can get to a point while we're recording, and I'm like, and I sometimes, like, you know, I say it in the episode, I'm like, I don't think this is going to even be pleasant to listen to, because it's not really enjoyable right now. I just feel like it's so, like, are we having a good time, or is this going on for too long, and it's like gonna be so annoying for everybody listening and being just like, why can't you guess it already, like that type of thing. So that's something that I can find frustrating. But when I listen to the episodes back, like after they've been edited, sometimes I'm kind of like, yeah, I do still feel that way a little bit. But sometimes I'm like, maybe it's not that bad. Or like maybe knowing the phrase ahead of time makes it easier to listen to. I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. I'd say those English lyric ones, and also I'd add in the K-pop Whisper Challenge game, episode 48, is falling into the same sort of line of, they're games that have a lot of really funny moments or really fun elements to them, but that take super long, and it's so hard to even know like how many more we should do when we're recording in order to get a good episode length, because we don't even know how long it has been, because people will stop and think, and it's like, okay, we're just gonna have to cut that out, because the person is actually like, I actually just need to take a moment and try to process and think what the answer could be.
Yeah.
And so then you got to cut that out. And so then it's like, well, I don't know, should we do another round or should we end it here? It's hard to tell. So it's like you're having a fun time trying to think of the answers. Or if you're the person who's like giving the question, you're like, I really want the other person to get it because they're so close to the answer. So you don't want them to give up, but then it gets to a point where it's like, well, it's been so long now. So we've tried like to change the rules here and there to like, oh, should we do time limits or should we do this? Or they're really difficult episodes to do. And it's kind of frustrating in addition, because I think that they're fun. So it's like, I want to be able to do those types of episodes, but because it's so difficult, like that's what makes it frustrating. Because if it was just difficult, then it'd be like, okay, let's not do that again.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, we like to try to play games on the podcast that are things that we would do not on the podcast. And so sometimes trying to make it suitable to do while recording makes it more difficult. Like I think going forward we need to try to have more like time limits or something going on. I don't know, but that's hard too, because like you have to balance the timer, and you have to like, you sort of sometimes have to pause what you're saying to get that all taken care of and stuff, and then it still extends the recording time anyway. Like there's so much that goes into the game episodes, but we really like to play games casually, so we really like to do it for episodes too, but it's just hard to convert them sometimes.
Yeah, and then to add on to all that, I have to edit these episodes that not only have a lot of footage, but that have a million cuts.
Yeah.
It's just cut this part out, cut this part out, oh my God, it's so frustrating that it's like, okay, we had a really long recording time for this episode, and it's going to be a really long time to like re-listen through that all in editing. And it's extra long because every time that you have to cut something in an episode, it makes the editing time longer. Because instead of just letting those 5 seconds listen through, you're listening for 2.5 seconds, you're making a cut, you're moving the clip over, you're cutting again, like the other end, and then you have to re-listen to make sure that the cut is clean. So it like doubles the time of the section that you're cutting. It gets crazy. Very frustrating.
Yeah. So that's kind of all that we have for the more negative or not as fun and exciting superlatives. But now let's transition back to some more positive ones. So let's do most fun to make. I will say, and I think this is what you're saying as well, right?
I think you have the same one, yeah.
Episode 87, the favorite music video quiz. We both really enjoyed that. It was, you know, we did our tier list, our first tier list, which that was definitely very hard to make as well. Yeah. And if you've heard the Behi episodes, you will know that that was very difficult to make. But once again, it was a lot of fun and we enjoyed doing it in general. But yeah, so we had all of our favorite music videos, and then we also have the playlist of the music videos on our channel. And so we decided to make quizzes on those music videos, like some of the ones that we consider our favorites, for each other. And then we had each other take the quiz in the episode, and it was just a very good concept as well. Like,
yeah, I think it was really fun. Yeah, just the concept in itself I think is fun, and like it was something that I had thought of to do for a long time. Like I feel like it was sitting as something that was like, we could do this for a really long time. And then when we finally did it, I feel like it turned out so well. Mm-hmm. I think it was really fun to go through the other person's like music videos that they had as their favorites and like make the quiz questions, and then to like see how well they did, and then like to get quizzed. Like every aspect of it was really fun.
Yeah, so we'll definitely want to do more episodes like that, make more tier lists, do more quizzes, maybe anything like that is very fun, and we'll probably try to do it more. Okay, how about the funniest episodes?
Now, this one is tough for me because obviously, you know, there are 99 episodes. I don't remember how they actually are.
Right.
But conceptually, if I try and think, or if I like remember a funny clip or moment, I've got a couple options. One of them would be the badly explaining K-pop groups Dice Breakers, episode 74. Because, you know, obviously, hopefully that one would be a little bit funny because we're badly explaining K-pop groups. We were taking K-pop groups, and depending on what roll we rolled out of 20, we had to either explain them very accurately, which is not that funny, or explain them terribly, which ended up being a pretty good time.
Yeah. So I definitely agree with that. I have episode 74 as well, and episode 48, the Whisper Challenge, once again. I just think that one, like, whenever you see the Whisper Challenge or, like, you know, the Whisper game being played in anything, but it happens in K-pop a lot, it's always pretty funny.
Yeah. And
so we do it. It's funny as it's happening. It's funny listening back. We have some shorts, like, and, well, like, you know, I don't know if we have multiple shorts. I think we do actually have multiple shorts with the Whisper Game episode, but I think those are still funny watching them back. So, yeah, I'd say those are two that I can remember easily being funny.
Yeah. I have the whisper challenge as well, and I'll add on just that, like, even just hearing how the person who has the headphones on talks differently, like, you can like, just that aspect in and of itself is like an extra little funny bit, that it's like, I what are you saying right now? Like, it's like, why is it like just a little different?
All right. How about we do most original / creative concept episode? And I think we both are agreeing that episode 83, our K-pop part switch episode, is pretty creative.
Yeah. A lot of the other ones that we've done that are like episodes with a concept kind of were like built off of something else. So it was like, I don't really know if we'd say most original, but like we always usually have our own spin on it. But this one, it's like a K-pop part switch is a thing. It's such a thing, you know? But to do it as hosts for a podcast, for a K-pop podcast, call it the K-pop part switch, like, now that's pretty good.
Yeah, and we like full committed.
Yeah, like we switched everything, and I think it worked well. I think it was fun. I think that there were some elements that turned out really nicely.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now how about favorite game to play?
Okay. I think we both agree that one of our favorites was like one of the earliest games that we did on the podcast, the K-pop profiles guessing game from episode 4.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a good time. That's a game that we played in our, personal lives. Mm-hmm. Open up the K-pop profiles, read out some facts. The other person tries to guess the K-pop artist.
It actually started, like, we would play this game even before with just any famous person, and we would do like Wikipedia pages or something like that.
True.
And so, it's a game that can really go far with the concept.
Yeah, and it's fun because those K-pop profiles will just have the most random stuff on them that's like, where are they getting this from? But they're like there's people that will watch something and an idol mentions something, and then they're like, okay, I'm gonna go add that to their profile. Like, I heard them say this in this random episode of this random show that they were on one time. It goes in the profile, and so you get this like amalgamation of a whole bunch of just like really niche facts about the idol that are really fun to read out.
Yeah, I think the one that sticks in my head the most from that game is the Roan plants thing. How he memorized over 400 species of plant or something like that. Like, what? Like, what kind of fact even is that? So, yeah, I really liked playing that game. We've got to bring it back.
Yeah, we got to do more.
I also like the secret word game, episode 34, which was our version before the recent forbidden word game. That one was a little bit easier because you could talk a little bit more freely.
Yes.
And it was still a little hard for me because sometimes when there's no topic, it's kind of like, oh, well, great, where do I go? Or, well, like, there was a little bit of a topic, but it's like, if there's no notes or anything at all, it can be a little difficult sometimes, but it's still fun. And also episode 17, the nonsense association game. I think that's a good one.
Yeah, I can't believe how early that is. It's episode 17.
Yeah.
That one was like, it's kind of weird in a way because it is so nonsensical. Like, but I don't know. I think it worked out. Like, I think it was fun. I think it was fun to just, once again, it seems like kind of like the type of thing that people would just be doing casually, like with their friends, they're like, let's just randomly think about stuff and associate it with idols. Like, let's just do that. And so
yeah,
it's like, I like how casual it was.
Yeah, it's like we don't actually know these people. We're just going off of vibes, off of literally whatever. Just like, why not, right?
Yeah, like just let your mind take you and then just talk about it. Like, that's fun.
Yeah. All right, now how about we share our superlative for our favorite BlushCat episode as hosts, looking at all of our 99 episodes that are available so far. What episode is our favorite?
I mean, that's a tall order because how do I remember all 99? So it would make sense that it's one from more recent time. But it just so happens that, recent times had something really great.
Exactly.
The Plave episodes.
The Plave episodes. I would say specifically part 2, episode 98 of the BlushCat podcast was really good. I really enjoyed listening back to it, and I really enjoyed recording it because who doesn't love to talk about things that they love?
Right.
And who doesn't love to listen to people talking about things that they love?
Right. And we've done episodes previously that were group-specific episodes, and so I'm sure that I love those ones as well, but it's been so long, I don't remember them very well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the Plave episodes, and because, it's going to be extending into a part 3, like, you really can just tell that, like, we obviously had a lot to say about this group, and, like, want to keep talking about them.
Yeah.
So it just ended up being like, wow, yeah, I think that went really well. Like, we got to just say a lot of stuff that we really liked. And, like, I feel like I had a lot of stuff. I had a lot of things to articulate. Whereas sometimes I'm like, well, I really love this group, or I really loved this song or whatever, but I don't know why, just because I do. But, like, with Plave, there was enough, like, special things to talk about.
Yeah, that's a good point. And also, we agree on on everything, and I think it was also good because that episode wasn't too long. And so, it's good to hear people talk about things that they love, but, like, sometimes if you're talking about it for as long as some of our episodes can get, it can be, like, dragging on a little bit too much. But this episode was pretty short, and it was structured still. Like, it wasn't just, like you said, talking about a bunch of random stuff or nothing exactly specific. Like, we had certain points that we did want to mention.
Yes.
So that is our favorite episode. And our last 2 episode related superlatives that we have are just more like statistic points that we wanted to share: the longest episode and the shortest episode. So the longest BlushCat episode currently is episode 66, which is our July through October 2024 comeback review, and it's like, actually, we had to split that into boy groups and girl groups. So this is the boy group version. 1 hour, 51 minutes, and 6 seconds. It makes sense that it's so long because of how many things we're covering. We're covering multiple months worth of comebacks. But, like, yeah, we get it. That's kind of too long for a podcast episode.
Yeah, like, if you're considering, so, like, BlushCat had to take a little bit of a break, and so then we had to catch up with all those. And if you're considering that, like, you're lucky if you get a comeback episode that's close to an hour in general per month. That's 4 months to cover, and if we did 2 parts and they're both under quote unquote 2 hours, we actually pared it down a good bit.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, and our shortest episode is episode 60, The Dawn of BlushCat, which is 33 minutes and 42 seconds.
I'm
very
shocked.
Short. Yeah, I was very surprised to look back and see that we ever had an episode that was that short. And it's also surprising that that's the episode that it is, because it's like we're kind of re-explaining our origin story and why we do the podcast, why we're telling everybody to stand Pentagon. But I guess it's probably because we've already explained a lot of it before.
Yeah, like, this is probably, at least the third time that we've explained it, because we explained it at the beginning of the podcast, but also we explained it at the true beginning of the podcast, the Vault podcast. We explained it there as well. So I guess maybe over time, the more times you tell a story, you learn how to cut some corners, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like, was I there? Like 33 minutes and I was in the podcast? That doesn't sound right.
Yeah. So those are our main superlatives.
Yeah. That was also, I believe, the first, like, because it is that episode, that was the first episode with the switch over to the cat mascot for everything, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, so those were the main superlative-based episode topics to talk about, but there are a few things you could maybe call them honorable mentions. A few, like, additional episode concepts that we had that I just wanted to shout out because they didn't really make it into any of those things, but they were like good episodes. I liked them. Because we have a lot of like basic concepts that are like talking about something or like, covering a certain group or music in some capacity. But then we have some other ones that are fun as well, like using Google Translate to guess the K-pop music video, episode 11. I really like that one. I think we should do that again.
The K-pop music video by our description.
Oh, by our description. Yeah, sorry. It's a long title. How did we fit all that?
I don't know.
But yeah, that one was really fun. I want to do that again.
Yeah.
Like, I think that the multiply translated descriptions turned out well. I said multiply. Yeah, I did. So that was a fun one. And then like the ones where I had to sort the K-pop group members, we did a boy group one and a girl group one, and I had to, just based off of a batch of names, sort the members into groups that I was not familiar with. That was a really fun time.
I mean, actually really like those ones as well. I think we can do more. Episode 25 is the boy group version. Episode 44 is the girl group version, in case you're curious. Yeah, I think they are a little bit difficult to keep track of. For me, like, it's hard to keep track of the people that you've assigned to certain groups already, and like then you might backtrack, and I'm like, okay, and like I have to try to keep track of all of that while we're recording, and so it can be a little difficult sometimes, but it's also really funny if you are like completely wrong, or it's like, oh wow, like she actually knew that. How did she? I didn't even think that she would know that.
It also has like we got some classic we got some like iconic lines.
Yes.
Like Nine Eyes Taehoon, or like who the heck is Juhan? Mm-hmm. It's like it then sticks in my mind that is who that person is because of the quote.
Yeah.
Also the who do you think episode. I feel like this was a wild card as to whether it would even turn out to be anything, but it ended up kind of having its moment,
Yeah, I liked it. It birthed the iconic Bane short.
Yes.
Like, I was thinking maybe Bane. Like what? I don't know. It's just so funny. What are the chances that we would think that for so many of the scenarios?
Yeah, like how did he get to be ubiquitous? It just worked out that way. Yeah, I guess those are a few. I want to give a quick shout out to the beach episode just because I think that was a fun concept to like have a beach episode and like think of all of those different like tropes, I guess, for the beach. That was fun.
I want to mention our red flags and green flags episodes and the truth or lie game. I think those ones were a little bit like, we've seen people talk about those types of things before or play a game kind of similar to that, but it fits the podcast really well. And also K-pop 20 questions where we guess the idol. I think that one, I think it was a little frustrating, honestly, but it's one of those ones that, we can play not for the podcast, and we can play it for the podcast and it still has like, it has elements that are fun and interesting. Also, like the idols game, there's a lot that goes into that, and it's a little difficult to make it suit the podcast, but I really like the idols game, and so I'm always like wanting to play it, but it's just like kind of a little bit of a task if we ever want to do that. That's why we've only done it once in this new iteration of the podcast. And I want to shout out the 2-episode.
Oh, nice.
Because I love the fact that we got to do that and therefore call it the 2-episode.
Yes.
And also, like, it's kind of like, you know, interesting to be able to look at their whole history as a group.
Yeah, because like there was a lot.
Yeah.
I guess the last one that I'd throw out here, maybe I'm forgetting some other ones, but the last one I want to shout out is our possibly second least popular episode. Episode 50, How to Be a Better K-pop Fan.
Oh, yeah.
Just because, you know, I think it's maybe at like 8 views. But like it's an important concept,
yeah,
you know, like, so it really, it's a shame. It's a shame that no one has seen it or heard it, because we were trying to help, you know.
Yeah. And you didn't get to hear Chartbury, the host of that episode.
God. Yeah,
like, come on, you're missing out.
Every host of BlushCat, well, no, that's weird because that sounds like I'm talking about myself. Every host number 2 of BlushCat is iconic. Like, per episode you're getting a gift just to hear the host name at the beginning, I feel like.
Thank you very much. How about we take a moment to acknowledge some of the iconic guest hosts?
I would love that, Jezzabelle.
Thank you. Okay, actually, like, just a moment. Like, I do, like, I got people here, and now I'm making them wait, but like, so stay tuned. But now I can force Pentagon down their throats. Like, okay, just a minute. I want to bring up episode 28 and episode 29.
Oh, the reviewing the Pentagon music videos.
Yes, because I feel like those like didn't get that many views. Like, I feel like people didn't really care about those, and that kind of just makes me think, well, people must not be standing Pentagon.
True.
And we've been telling people to stand Pentagon because, like,
day one,
I thought it was really fun to go back and watch all of the Pentagon music videos and talk about them. And it also seemed like a good concept for an episode, because it seems like, you know, a thing that people would want to find, like somebody looking at every music video that a group has released and then talking about it. And it's like, we love, you know, most of them because it's Pentagon and we love Pentagon, but it's like nobody really cared. So that just must mean that they don't stand Pentagon, and you should be standing Pentagon.
True. Also, like, it was really fun, but also, like, it was a lot of work. Like, do you know how long it takes to watch all those music videos? We did that.
Yeah. I would like to do that for other groups. I think it'd be fun. Okay, but yeah, iconic guest hosts. Obviously me, Jezzabelle, and obviously Haechel. She stepped in for a moment. And we all love Pentagon. Haechel is always here for like Pentagon focused things, but there was also Haechel. That's different from Haechel, okay? And Fury Exatron was a pretty iconic one.
Absolutely.
Tremble 5, can't forget about Tremble 5, the number 5, by the way. RYZ Rise, existing before the K-pop group Rise, okay? Extra iconic.
I was gonna say, she is an icon, and some of these hosts, you know, maybe we've mentioned it before, but they are also like from the Vault, like the Vault episodes. Some of these people were making appearances back then.
Yes. And so RYZ Rise is an original, and therefore, like, you might be looking at our current episodes that you can see and be like, Rise, the K-pop group, existed before Rise was ever a host on BlushCat. But like, no, true Meowers know that is not the case. Anyway, Another, like the last one I really want to mention is Pagatreya Amandinson Macrani Yarkinfin, aka Pammy, because like what a legend, and barely anybody got to experience Pammy as a host because that episode doesn't have very many views, and that was episode 59 talking about K-pop music shows.
Oh, yeah. Another one that was just kind of randomly like, hello, guys, we're talking about this thing that you should all listen to. Like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, RYZ Rise, to bring it back to that for just a moment, I've got some receipts. If you're like, you need the receipts and the vault, you know, you can't get into that. I do have over on my channel, Devin Christie, link in the description, the BlushCat Podcast Season 2 trailer of our Vault podcast is from 5 years ago.
Wow.
And I'm pretty positive that we mentioned RYZ Rise in that.
Wow, there you go. Perfect. The receipts are there.
So I guess that probably should conclude our 100th episode retrospective, if you will, a look back on many of the various episodes, games, concepts, successes and failures, frustrations, and heartfelt, cherished moments of BlushCat so far.
Yes. Wow. Do you play happy music for the end of the episode, or do you play like sad music because it's like, oh, the 100th episode is over?
You play Remembrance Candy by Billy.
Ooh. Wow. That would have been a good Meowtro, but that's not what's coming because I'm Jezzabelle and I'm going to want to do Pentagon.
A classic.
Yes.
I think that, you know, that ties things up just as nicely as you could expect, you know.
Yeah. Okay, so you know what to do if you've been here for all 100 episodes. Thank you very much. You should already be subscribed, but if you are not, please subscribe to BlushCat on YouTube and turn on the notifications.
100th time is the charm.
And leave us a comment, share your superlatives for the podcast. If you want to, you can talk about what episodes you loved, what episodes you hated. You can talk about just what episodes you want to see us do more of, anything that you want, and like the video if you enjoyed it.
Yes, and thank you so much for listening to however many or however few you listen to, and we'll see you back here at episode 200.
Oh, wow. Okay, bold claim. Also, remember to stay meowing. This has been Jezzabelle.
And me. Bye.
Meow, 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 meow. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow.